Hi, everyone. I'm Charles Barkley, and I'm Associate Director of Enrollment Management with the University of Chicago. Today, I have the distinct pleasure of sitting down with Dr. Greg Green, who's Executive Director of Analytics Programs. And we're here today to learn more about the University of Chicago Master of Science in Analytics. Greg, thanks for being here.
Thanks, Charles. Glad to be here today.
Fantastic. So I want to hear a little bit more about your role as Executive Director of the Master of Science in Analytics program. Can you tell us more about what you do?
Yeah, well, I joined in the last 6 months to a year from industry, and this is a new experience for me, being the director of a program like this. And my focus is on student experience and the experience for the instructors, how they can deliver a high quality program and content in the best way possible. So I talk with students, talk with instructors, and really work on the curriculum and the design of the program to deliver the best possible outcomes for the students.
That's great. And I know you come to the program with a wealth of experience, both on the academic side and on the industry side. You've taught in prominent national programs, and you've worked in analytics roles very directly in digital marketing and strategy, business analytics, and product development. Given your exposure to this industry lens, what do you find to be the most impactful part of the MSCA program, and how does that lead students into successful careers?
Well, one of the things I noticed over the course of my career was the acceleration of change in our field, and really the acceleration of change everywhere. But in analytics, the growth of data and the lower cost of data, the lower cost of computing due to Moore's law, we have double and triple the amount of data and at half the cost. So what's happening in analytics with data and technology is accelerating so quickly that we all have to stay up to speed on the latest. And not only were those changes happening, but also the changes in the field itself, the techniques being used, new types of machine learning algorithms, new types of modeling techniques, new data becoming available that we had never seen before, more real-time data. So all those changes affecting us both in industry and then new people coming into our field with new ideas. So staying on top of that is all a huge challenge. And I had to stay in education myself, both teaching it and taking it, taking courses and learning. So that, that drove me to a closer relationship with institutions like University of Chicago, among others. So from that, then I saw opportunities to help design and drive that preparation for all that change going on.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know just with the general rapid expansion of this field, we've certainly seen a similar rise in these data science focused graduate programs as well over the years. And I think the question more and more on students' mind as they select among programs is what makes an individual program unique? So from your perspective, what's new and exciting in the Master of Science and Analytics program here at the University of Chicago in 2020?
Yeah, I think when you're evaluating a program, it's important to look at what is the focus of that program. Is it a highly theoretical program where you're going to learn the underpinnings of the field itself, the mathematical content, the computer science architectures, and is it focused on the theory, or is it focused on applications and practice, and actually who is teaching it and what is their experience? Is their experience more theoretical and academic, or is it more practical? And what you find at the University of Chicago that is unique is the combination of deep theory and rigor with practice and that practical application. So that combination and the engagement in both to really understand why things work the way they do, not just applying it, but understand what the underpinning theory is, and then how it really works in practice, what the complexities are and the complications are. So we use real data. We work with real clients and real data, and it makes a difference. It is harder. Some things are more difficult, but at the same time, when you leave a program like the University of Chicago, where that combination of theory, rigor, and practice is taught, you're not surprised when you hit the real world. You're actually able to hit the ground running and make contributions in your job. And many of our students are working while they're in the program, and they will tell me how applications are happening even before they graduate, even before they leave. They've learned things that they're applying even that week. So that's very powerful.
Yeah, with that in mind, I get the opportunity to speak with prospective students and applicants to this program regularly. And I know that entering students come with a wide variety of academic backgrounds. We see students with backgrounds in mathematics, statistics, engineering, economics, business, marketing, finance. With this wide set of experience, how do students come together to contribute to the unique blend that is this program and contribute to the strong outcomes of the degree?
I think there's two things that work together to make it work for students of varied backgrounds. One is we have some foundational courses that we offer to bring everybody up to the same starting point. And so some of that work statistically, statistics work, programming experience, those may be areas where you haven't had as much practice yet. And so you may have had some programming, but not programming for analytics. And so we have some foundational courses that help shore that up and give you a good starting point, a good strong foundation to go from there into data science. Secondly, when we work in our courses, the teams that we create, the group projects, really help people learn from each other. So on a team of 3 or 4 people, one may be stronger in one area and another is stronger in another area. So when you combine strength in programming with strength in project management, you can take a hard problem, divide it up, and learn from each other. Well, how do you drive through a project like that? And also, how do you do the programming and really do it in a way that's going to be acceptable in a work environment? And so those students working together with the experience of an instructor supervising that is how we learn from each other to really raise the bar for everyone.
That's great. And I think speaking of work environments, I know that our students always have an eye to the future, and they're thinking, after I complete the Master of Science in Analytics, what might my career prospects be? You've told us a bit already about the developments in the field of analytics, but what are you seeing in the hiring market for our master's degree holders, and how are they performing on the job market?
The types of examples that I see are people who already had a job or had work experience in analytics, but perhaps they weren't considered a data scientist. So the analytics work they were doing was applied analytics, but not as deep in the insight development and the machine learning and model development as they wanted to be. And so they were looking not necessarily for a promotion, but a more legit position that's considered a data scientist position. And that can be an associate level where you're almost apprenticing as a data science to a more senior data scientist position where you're leading a group of people that are all data scientists or maybe from several different fields in analytics. So what I see is students kind of from where they are finding a way to get to the next level or to get deeper into a particular field. Another example I see is changing industries. So a student may have had experience in financial services only, but they want to move into health analytics or a different industry application of data science. And our program allows you to take some electives in that area and perhaps change your stripes a bit. So you may be an advanced analytics person, but purely branded as a financial analyst. And you really want to change to something that has more impact with people, and maybe more altruistic. So I see students trying to change things, change the trajectory of their career, either go deeper or change industries. And this type of a program allows you to deepen and modify the applications that you're focused on. That rebranding isn't easy, even after getting a degree and doing a program like this. So we help students think through how they're positioning themselves and what stories they're telling. And it connects into what capstone they choose and what they work on in the program, so that they can tell better stories about particular clients that they worked with, why they're passionate about this field, what they're trying to do in the next stage of their career. And as they tell that story and really begin the rebranding in their own resume and LinkedIn positioning, then it becomes believable by an interviewer. And it's like, okay, yeah, this does look like the right next step for you. We'll take a chance on you.
That's excellent to hear. Greg, I want to ask one final question. Firstly, thank you for your time today. As we close, I know our students and applicants are interested. Given your experience, what's one piece of advice you might have for someone interested in the field of analytics?
Well, my experience has been that the balance of a few things makes a better analyst. So, and what I mean by balance is the balance in curiosity about what your data is really, what's coming from, who these people are that are buying this product and why they're buying it, that's producing this data. That curiosity, actually buying the product and practically experiencing what the consumer is experiencing or what that person is going through, what motivates them. So that curiosity is very powerful. Also, kind of a respect for other fields. There are people who understand the psychology of the consumer, people who understand how creative works, how people react to different types of creative and how that changes their behavior. So respect for fields that are not mathematical, and beginning to understand how those can be powerful as part of the overall equation. And then the last thing I talk about a little bit is leadership skills and getting along with others skills, relationship development skills. So these three things I've talked about here balance with your desire to have all of the technical boxes checked. I'm a great programmer. I understand all the algorithms. I understand the statistics. I can technically do the work. But these other things actually are crucial to your success. So how do we get that balance of real experience with the data and understanding it? How do we work on getting along with others and respecting other fields and knowing how they can contribute to the situation? How do we get along with others and develop relationships with others so they trust us? And when we have an insight, they've worked with us enough to then take our insight and build something off of it. And so all those things work together to create a powerful analytics career. I have found myself that I've had to work on different aspects of it that I might not have been as good at or might not have been as interested in, but they kind of all fit together to really make me successful. And that's how I've learned. And there were periods of time where I focused more on the technical and I didn't really care about the relationships. And I thought people should just listen to me because I had the technical prowess, you know. But over time, with some feedback and coaching from my mentors, I built a better balance. And so the people skills work together with the psychology and and understanding the motivations of consumers and respecting other fields that don't like math, you know, knowing that they contribute too. And then also staying current on everything that's changing in this analytics field so rapidly. So that's what I would say is, you know, I know that's a lot of advice all in one, but it's like it's the balance. It's not just one thing. And so figuring out that balance for you is important. And it's the one thing that I wish I had kind of understood sooner. I had to learn it as I went, and sometimes the hard way. You know, sometimes I learned it um, getting some feedback through a failure. You know, but over time, I respect it better. You know, I respect it more now. And what we try to do is create the right recipe of courses and instructors and interactions that give you the opportunity to build that balance for yourself. So long answer to a short question, but that's probably the hardest question out of the list.
Oh yeah, that's fantastic. Great advice. And I think just building a really powerful toolkit, which you can certainly do in the program, is really wonderful to hear more about. Greg, thanks for your time. Dr. Greg Green, it's a pleasure to learn more about the Master of Science in Analytics with you.
Thanks. And I look forward to meeting all of you when we can, as soon as possible.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.